Hello, good morning. I am going to do a little bit or a kind of a long-term series on how to study the Bible. I've realized that even Christians, people that go to church all the time, that's wonderful. We don't know how to study the Bible. We don't know how to read it. We don't know how to understand it. We don't know how to look for what we need to look for. So I'll go at this at all different angles, and I'm not a Bible scholar by any by any stretch, but I was taught how to study the Bible, and it has been the only thing in my life that has kept me centered and focused at all, with all the stuff that life throws at us. So I have been in the book of James, which is in the New Testament, kind of towards the back, really close to Revelation, And today I was reading in James 4, so I'm just going to go through and read up until about, verse 4 or 5, so bear with me for just a second. It says, "What leads to the unending quarrels and conflicts among you? Do they not come from your hedonistic desires?" We're going to talk about the word hedonistic because we don't use that word anymore. "Desires that wage war and your bodily members fighting over control over you. You are jealous and covet what others have, and your lust goes unfulfilled, so you murder." Sound familiar? You are envious and You are envious and cannot obtain the object of your envy, so you fight and battle. You do not have because you do not ask it of God. You ask God for something and do not receive it because you ask with the wrong motive, out of selfishness or with an unrighteous agenda, so that when you get what you want, you may spend it on your hedonistic desires. There's that word again. You adulteresses, disloyal sinners, flirting with the world and breaking your vow to God. Do you not know that being the world's friend, that is, loving the things of the world, is being God's enemy? So whoever chooses to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. Or do you think that the scripture says to no purpose that the human spirit, which he has made to dwell in us, lusts with envy? Well, I'm going to stop there. One thing you can do is when a word like that catches your eye, look it up. Google. You can use, there's BibleStudyTools.com. There's a great app called YouVersion, Holy Bible. There's all different translations. Reading different translations, the same chapter, is another great way to get a fuller understanding. So I'm going to read James 4, verse 3 in the Complete Jewish Bible. It says, "Or that you pray and don't receive because you pray with the wrong motive, that of wanting to fulfill your own desires." So the meaning of that word hedonistic, basic meaning, is engaged in the pursuit of pleasure, sensually self-indulgent. Again, sound familiar? The thing I love about the Bible is that it's very applicable to our lives. And again, I know it's hard sometimes if we didn't grow up reading it, hearing it, studying it. It seems kind of out there and like it doesn't really relate. That's not true. This very much relates to today. I did want to end on a good note. Christians do tend to focus on scriptures like this, and this scripture is very important. It's extremely relevant to what's going on today in society among people. There's no center, there's no moral line or nothing. There's no foundation, and there's so much confusion, and people are so lost and kind of doing crazy things. It's easy to get off, especially if you're not spending time with Jesus, if you're not opening the word, if you're not getting that down into your spirit. It doesn't take much time. Okay, I've been talking to you for 5 minutes. We just had a Bible study. That's a Bible study. It will change your life. It will change your whole day. It sets your mind on things above, just like Scripture says. But back to what I was saying. When we read scriptures like this, it's really good to balance, because us humans, we have a tendency to get really focused on one thing. And like, oh, I'm going to start telling everybody that they have hedonistic desires. No. The chapter that came up, I think it's very relevant anytime, is Corinthians 13. The Apostle Paul wrote Corinthians, and Corinthians 13 is known as the love chapter. It's read in a lot of weddings, etc. The characteristics of love that he points out, the main characteristics, are patience, kindness. Kindness is like a rare thing now. It's really sad. Being not self-seeking, envious, or rude. When you're at line at the store and you're irritated because it's 6 people deep and their baskets are all full, you get up to the cashier and you're rude to her. Does that show love? I mean, I know that's a really simple example, but stuff like that matters. And when you're in the Word, stuff like that, you're like, oh man, love is not rude. Love is kind. It doesn't make decisions and demand its own way. On the flip side, what we just read, sometimes you don't get what you want when you're asking God because you're asking out of the wrong motive. You're wanting some sort of self-indulgent thing. It's not saying you can't have the desires of your heart, but if you want your neighbor's car, if you're begging for, I don't know, I'm going to go with the car, you want a BMW, but you don't want to work, you don't want to go to school, you don't want to do anything with your life to help anybody else. I don't know, but I'm not God. I don't make those decisions. But it's a check and balance. Check and balance. Check and balance. That's what studying the Bible is all about. You read one scripture, go read something that kind of tells you the opposite. We're talking about things to avoid in James 4, and I'm going to stay in James for a while. I think it's really relevant to everything going on today, at least in our country. So anyway, I hope that helped. I hope you enjoyed it. As a side note, I am going to be doing these videos. I'm hoping that I can get some likes and subscribers. I appreciate your time. I have decided that I'm finally going back to school. And so I have about a year and a few months to start getting some income coming in. So if you like and subscribe, that helps me greatly. I want to go back to school. I want to improve my life, do something with my life. My kids are all grown and raised. I only have a senior in high school left at home. So I appreciate it. And yes, I will probably look like this because I'm doing this first thing in the morning before I go to work. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope that this helped in some way. Thank you.